'Cause you make me, 'cause you.
Hi, I'm Emmanuella Grace. I'm a voice coach that's based in Melbourne. And I've done a few tips for you on how to find your voice for Australian musician. Check out the videos, and if you have any questions, feel free to post. Here's a list of things that I recommend for my clients to do to look after their voice. And I try and keep it as realistic as possible because we do have lives to live and touring life can be tough as well. So number one is hydrate. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that it takes up to about 2 hours for whatever you drink to kind of eventually benefit the vocal folds. So get a bottle of water and top up over the course of the day. Another rule that I kind of recommend is the one-on-one rule, which is if you have something that's going to dehydrate you, like a cigarette, some really strong coffee, alcohol, combine it with a glass of water or a herbal tea. So 1 cigarette, 1 glass of water, 1 espresso, 1 glass of water, glass of wine, glass of water. And the other rule that kind of I picked up from a teacher a while back, which is a little crass, is to pee pale. If your pee is dark, you're dehydrated. Go drink some water. So number 2 is swallow, don't cough. If you think of coughing as a high velocity amount of air with a connection that happens in the vocal folds for that expulsion that then kind of rattles whatever it is in there and brings it up. If you already have swelling in there, it's kind of like scratching an itchy bite. Scratching it's not going to make it better. So swallow. Steer clear of menthol. Anything with menthol in it will actually essentially dry the vocal folds out more. So one of the things that kind of leads me on to number 3, which is steaming. Really good for you, whether it be taking a hot shower or putting a bowl of steaming water in front of you or getting a humidifier. I have quite a few clients in drier climates that use humidifiers. They're great. And adding some essential oils can really help. Olbas, O-L-B-A-S oil is one of my favorites because it has had the menthol taken out of the oils. So it kind of gives you that refreshed sense in your sinuses and in your throat and in your chest without the dehydrating elements of menthol. So number 3 is speak clearly. Don't whisper and don't shout. Understand what your limits are and stick within them. And if that means lowering the volume, sure, lower the volume, but you don't need to whisper. It's actually creating almost, if you imagine, if your skin felt sensitive and then you went out and had a lot of wind blowing on it, all it's going to do is actually exacerbate the dryness that you're feeling and create more swelling. Number 4, I think we're up to, is eat well. Know the foods that mess with your digestive system, know the foods that cause you acid reflux, and steer clear of them. It's just an act of self-care. And the most important one, I think, out of everything, and it's probably the one that we have the most trouble observing, is to get plenty of rest. Know your limits and enforce them. Know when you need to be asleep and then go. And look after yourself.